Hello, everyone. In today's video, we're diving into a topic that affects us all: politicians and their relationship with the truth. When politicians tell lies, exposing the truth. We'll be uncovering instances when politicians have been caught spreading lies and discussing the consequences of their actions. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more thought-provoking content. Famous false promises. Politicians often make grand promises to gain our support, but how often do they follow through? We've seen countless examples of politicians making big claims during their campaigns, only to backtrack or fail to deliver once in office. It's essential for us, as informed citizens, to hold them accountable and demand transparency. The spin game. Misdirection and manipulation are common tactics used by politicians to avoid addressing uncomfortable truths. We've all seen politicians dance around questions, using vague language and shifting the conversation to their advantage. It's crucial to stay vigilant and demand clear, honest responses from our elected officials. Fake news and disinformation. In the age of social media, false information can spread like wildfire, and politicians aren't immune to using it to their advantage. It's disheartening to see those in power using misinformation to shape public opinion. As responsible consumers of information, we need to fact-check and verify before believing and sharing any news. Broken campaign promises. One of the most significant betrayals is when politicians outright break the promises they've made to the people. When politicians backtrack on their pledges, it erodes trust in the political system. We must hold them accountable for their words and actions, reminding them that they serve the public, not their own interests. The power of fact-checking. Thankfully, we live in an era where information is at our fingertips, and fact-checking has become a powerful tool. Fact-checking organizations play a vital role in exposing falsehoods and holding politicians accountable. Always make sure to verify claims before accepting them as truth. Most of us learn at some point that politicians tell lies. We expect them to stop once they hold office or to face the consequences. In the past, politicians that violated the public trust resigned. Most notably, President Richard Nixon. Other lesser officials have also been punished for abusing public trust. No longer. In campaigns and in office, politicians and their aides or supporters deliberately lie about matters of importance. Ben Rhodes, a national security advisor in the Obama administration, bragged recently about the lies officials told to support a major foreign policy decision, the nuclear agreement with Iran. That agreement permits Iran to possess nuclear weapons in about 10 years. Rhodes publicly admitted that the Obama administration claimed that the new Iranian government was a moderating influence, despite the fact that experts at the Central Intelligence Agency warned that the new government in Iran was not moderate. According to Rhodes, that false claim was critical for getting the deal approved by Congress. He and his colleagues suffered no consequence for having lied. The Obama administration lied to change a major foreign policy issue. Other lies are about less important but not unimportant issues. During his term as President of the United States, Donald Trump made tens of thousands of false or misleading claims. The Washington Post's fact-checker tallied the number of false or misleading claims as 30,573, an average of approximately 21 per day during his presidential term. Separately, the Toronto Star tallied the number of false claims as 5,276 by June 2019, an average of 6.1 per day. Commentators and fact-checkers have described the scale of his mendacity as unprecedented in American politics, and the consistency of falsehoods a distinctive part of his business and political identities. Scholarly analysis of Trump's tweets found significant evidence of an intent to deceive. By June 2019, after initially resisting, many news organizations began to describe some of his falsehoods as lies. The Washington Post said his frequent repetition of claims he knew to be false amounted to a campaign based on disinformation. Trump campaign CEO and presidency chief strategist Steve Bannon said that the press, rather than Democrats, was Trump's primary adversary, and the way to deal with them is to flood the zone with shit. As part of their attempts to overturn the 2020 U.S. presidential election, Trump and his allies repeatedly falsely claimed there had been massive election fraud and that Trump had won the election. Their effort was characterized by some as an implementation of the big lie propaganda technique. On June 8, 2023, a grand jury indicted Trump on one count of making false statements and representations, specifically by hiding subpoenaed classified documents from his own attorney, who was trying to find and return them to the government. In August 2023, 21 of Trump's falsehoods about the 2020 election were listed in his Washington, D.C. indictment, while 27 were listed in his Georgia indictment. President Joe Biden keeps telling lies. He just told a New Hampshire crowd of, having had a house burned down with my wife in it. She got out safely, God willing. In fact, the Associated Press reports it was a minor kitchen fire, with no damage visible from outside. He's overblown the incident in the past, albeit not as much. Nor can he stop talking about a chat with an Amtrak conductor in his 7th year as vice president, when the guy retired 15 years before Biden became Veep and had died by the year of the tail. Biden claims he was offered a job by an Idaho lumber company. They have no record. He claims he used to drive an 18-wheeler. It didn't happen. He said he visited Pittsburgh's Tree of Life synagogue after the 2018 massacre, speaking to the rabbi, when the synagogue says he's never even been there. It's a shtick and a disturbing one. He invents stuff in order to make a seemingly personal connection with his audience, but it's a phony connection. Biden has been in Washington almost his entire adult life. He's not a blue-collar worker struggling to get by. Even when there's some truth, he exaggerates, as when he chats with Gold Star families about his late son, Beau, as if he died in action rather than of brain cancer. In a world where misinformation can easily spread, it's up to us to critically evaluate the statements and actions of our politicians. By staying informed, fact-checking, and demanding honesty, we can create a more transparent and accountable political landscape. If you found this video thought-provoking, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and share it with others. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.